mynews.studio.
If you look at Poland's coal stacks, they stood for nearly 100 years. But just last month, for the first time, solar power overtook coal. What actually shifted to make that possible?
Right, and today's date is July 11th, 2025. The figure that really stood out to me: renewables provided 44.1% of Poland's electricity in June, just edging past fossil fuels at 43.7%. For a country that was almost entirely coal-powered, that's a big change. What drove it?
It's a combination of factors: market dynamics, new subsidies, and regulatory changes. But above all, solar made the biggest difference. Over the past year, Poland's solar photovoltaic capacity jumped by 24%. That's 23 gigawatts now, compared to just 2 gigawatts 5 years ago. Most of this growth came from people installing panels at home thanks to state subsidies.
So is it mostly homeowners putting solar panels on their roofs, or are we seeing large-scale solar farms too?
Both are happening, but the real story is the surge in home installations. Those subsidies actually doubled the number of small, home-based solar setups in just 1 year. It's a bottom-up transformation. At the same time, onshore wind is returning. For years, strict regulations basically froze wind. But now, some restrictions have eased. Not all, but enough to get things moving again.
And June was especially windy, right? That must have helped renewables tip over the line.
Yes, exactly. Weather did play a part, but the main factor is the structural shift. As soon as Poland started removing these old barriers to renewables, the market responded quickly. So it's less about a big central plan and more about finally letting things happen.
But Poland used to be the fourth largest carbon emitter in Europe. Have they actually announced a coal phase-out date yet?
That's still unresolved. Poland is the only EU country without an official date to phase out coal. The sector is dominated by state-owned companies running both coal plants and mines, which creates a lot of resistance to change.
And for the people working in coal, are there any plans for helping them switch to new jobs?
So far, retraining and support for coal regions is mostly in the discussion stage. There are a few local programs, but no large-scale government package for retraining or economic support. The government's main focus has been on keeping energy prices stable and diversifying fuel imports, especially after the energy crunch following Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
So that means the social side of this transition isn't settled yet. Is there a real risk that some regions could be left behind?
That's the main concern right now. Industry groups and civil society are both pushing for stronger plans. Without concrete support, coal-heavy regions could face serious economic shocks.
Let's look at infrastructure. With renewables growing so fast, can the coalish grid actually handle it?
Not really. At least not yet. Poland's transmission grid is outdated and energy storage is almost non-existent. So when there's a lot of sun or wind, much of that renewable energy can't be used. It's lost. Over the past few years, that's meant hundreds of gigawatt hours wasted. Upgrades and storage solutions are urgently needed, but most big projects are either just starting or waiting for regulatory approval.
Are there any new laws or policies coming to help with storage or improve the grid?
There's a draft law on hydrogen infrastructure in the works, aiming to spur more investment in hydrogen. There's also a lot of talk about grid modernization, but so far, no major projects have broken ground. The speed of these upgrades will really decide how far renewables can go.
Why should people outside Poland care about this story?
Because it shows that even countries deeply tied to coal can change direction quickly if policy, markets, and public demand line up. Poland's experience is almost like a template. If it can happen here, other countries could do it too. It's a real-world example for climate efforts elsewhere.
So just to recap, Poland's rapid transition came from market shifts, subsidies, and some regulatory changes, especially for solar. But the coal exit, worker support, and grid upgrades are still unresolved.
Exactly. The world is watching now, whether Poland keeps moving forward or if these challenges start to slow things down.
We'll keep an eye on it. Thanks for tuning in. This episode was powered by My News Studio. Give it a try for free.